Part 2. So, this is a back scratcher. This is my best friend. It's got my back. I do want to call that a sexual assault. The massage incident was definitely a sexual assault. It really traumatized me. Actually, I couldn't receive massages from men for many years after that. And in reflecting on what PTSD looks like, because of that incident, I am very familiar with what it looks like, and when my body reacts to some kind of violation, I know that something is wrong inside my body because I'm going through these very physical and emotional and psychological changes that, no matter what you say in your mind to convince yourself that everything's okay, your body's getting sick to your stomach and you can't drive correctly, you're dissociating, like you're spacing out. Like that's what post-traumatic stress disorder looks like for someone who's experienced certain kind of sexual trauma. And I remember after this guy is like, oh, you left something in my van. I said, I don't want it. I don't care what it is. I was in northern Australia at the time and traveling and backpacking and being an adventurous little girl like I am now. 20 years old was a long time ago for me, even though I look like I'm still maybe 25. I don't know. I'm actually going to be 35 this year. So it was quite a long time for me ago. So that's why I'm having trouble remembering exactly what the details were. But yeah, I'm going to call that a sexual assault for sure. It totally affected the way that I receive massages. Like I couldn't receive massages from men. It's still like really hard for me to, I'm really distrustful of guys who say they want to massage me. I'm like, there's no such thing as platonic massage. I'm sorry. It just doesn't exist. And I do sensual massage for money, and I think that part of what I do is heal myself from that incident. And for those of you that, spout off these incidents that are like, oh, all prostitutes have been sexually abused and blah, 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 yeah, that might be true for some of us. But, if 1 in 3 women by the age of 21 have been sexually assaulted, then you can bet that 2 out of 3 or something like that, a little bit, 1 increment higher, which is already high, of female-bodied sex workers have been sexually assaulted. So I know for a fact that the reason why I charge money to do sensual massage is because I get to straddle a man and put him in my control, under my grasp, and he's compensating me for this. And this is very healing for me. And he is receiving pleasure, and I flip him over and I happy ending him, and he's very happy with that. And, but that's all consensual. He knew that I was going to give him a happy ending. He wanted a happy ending. He knew that I was going to hop on his back and rub him with oil and give him a massage. I didn't know when I was 20 years old and trying to go in this guy's room to just watch TV that he was going to give me a massage, and this massage was going to be like a sensual massage. I didn't consent to that. I didn't consent to having topless videos on the TV screen while I was getting this massage. Like, it really screwed with my brain, like for many years afterwards. And it is only through, constant healing process and working through it with counseling and just all of the different outlets that I have, including making videos for you, that I'm able to come to a point where I am right now, where it's like, oh yeah, I can recognize it, and I know what to call it, and I know, that was in Northern Australia, and there was only 1 hostel in that whole town, and so I didn't want to go back to that hostel, and I was renting a car, and what happened was I ended up driving on the wrong side of the road because I was trying to avoid going to this hostel. And so that's how I know what post-traumatic stress disorder looks like. And then the next day I was all flipped out, and I think I hit a family of pigs in the middle of the road. Like, not huge pigs, but little, like, pot-bellied pigs. There's, like, a family of them crossing the road, and I freaking ran into them with my rent-a-car. And that's kind of what post-traumatic stress disorder looks like. It's not kind of, it's very much what PTSD looks like. And so, I really, really understood it at that time. And so I think this martial arts incident is really reminiscent of that, because it has the same sort of like putting your body in the hands of someone that's supposed to be not violating you, and they kind of are. And so I think that this is what's coming up for me now at 35, that I just remember getting massaged when I was 20 and how wrong that was. But the difference is, I think that guy who was working at the youth hostel had every motive and intention to have sex with me in a way that was sort of manipulative. Whereas I'm not quite sure at this time if the martial arts instructor had, has bad intentions. I don't know. I really have to wait for the little mediated discussion. And like I said, I have had good amount of success in confronting my perpetrators about the violence or about the violations. When I was 26, my best friend died. Rest in peace, David Perry. I'm staring at his picture right now. But his brother sexually assaulted me, and that was very traumatic for me. This happened when I was 19, which was 1 year before this youth hostel incident. But as a result of having to attend my best friend's funeral, I had to confront my perpetrator, and that was really difficult to have to deal with the trauma, have to deal with the mourning of my very best friend in the whole world, my soulmate. He died suddenly of heart disease, and he was really close to his brother, so it was really hard for him to have sexual violence terror come between him and his brother. But me and him were very close, and so I asked the universe for strength, and I got it, and I was actually able to have a conversation with his brother about what happened. And I think he just apologized. He didn't say that he was like quite conscious of it or anything, but that's kind of all I needed, was for him to acknowledge with compassion that this had happened. And for me to be, as an adult, speaking with another adult in a way that was nonviolent. And we hugged at the end, and I basically hugged my rapist. And that, I knew that I don't know, like I talked to you about before, that I think that good people can do awful things. I've blocked him from my Facebook. I don't really want to see him or talk to him after that incident, but I want to just elicit that it was very helpful for me to confront him. And that was the beginning of sort of this pattern of healing by confronting your perpetrator. And I know that a lot of survivors have gone to prisons and jails and done this, and I highly recommend it if it's at all possible for you to get a mediator and do this with the person who may have violated you, if it's safe to do that. If it's possible, if that person is still in your world and you have to see them every day, then it's something that I would recommend. That's all I wanted to say on that, because I got cut off at the 15-minute mark. All right, more later. Thank you for listening.